Yeah, man, it's BCA ready for what, not for play. In this video, we talking about. Hold on, I'm pulling my. Gotta put on my list again. My bad, y'all. We talking about women and retention. Yeah, we talking about women and retention. Now, I made the video before, and I don't want to talk about the attraction piece this time. I'm beginning to just believe the attraction piece when it comes to retention in this content space is kind of just like clickbait at this point. You know, I make sure I'm not putting attraction in there. I'm just gonna put just women in retention. But I want to talk about women in retention. Okay. First and foremost, if you on retention, you're already gonna be considered the top 1% man when it comes to women, even if you don't have your life together. And I know that sounds crazy, but when it comes to women, man, the men on retention are more valued than the other guys, because they see the other side of them. I was watching this video the other day. The guy was talking about women with butterfly tattoos, and I really never thought about it, but I thought about it, and I was like, dang, that is a true thing. I've seen it myself. Like, the women with butterfly tattoos, man, they are succubus, man. Most of them are. And I haven't seen women with the butterfly tattoo that weren't succubus based. I haven't. They're just me. So like I said, y'all come in what y'all want to. But them women with butterfly tattoos, he pretty much right about that. Pretty much spot on. Shout out to I forgot his name, man. Oh man, I'm be so mad. I think it's Rave something or something like that. But yeah, you gotta understand that women on retention, some women are out here just for your seed. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about that. The women is there just to get your seed. Alright? And we're not talking about actually you releasing in them stuff like that. We talking about like just for you to release in general. It ain't have to be you doing it in the actual setting. Because once she get what she got, she gone. She gone. And that's what you got to understand, is that when they sit here to do that, they're here to get you off of your streak. Now, granted, it's women that you could tell them about their journey and they will respect it, but it's some women that won't respect it. And you have to be able to discern the difference between that woman. Now, if she tells you, hey, I don't want to get you off your streak and stuff like that, that's cool, because at least she's acknowledging that she don't want to be there for that, and she's not trying to push you in that direction. But if she's telling you, like, please do this, please do that, please, like, bruh, you gotta go, bro. You gotta go. Unless you're just okay with relapsing, but you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, because if you want to keep these streaks up, you gotta be able to discipline yourself around women. Woo! If you want to keep your streak up, you got to discipline yourself around women. You have to. Because if you don't discipline yourself around women, you're going to continue to have a life of lust. That's it. And if you can't get that down, man, you're going to have a hard time in the future when it comes to this. And it's going to be hard because you have a hard time deciphering the succubus from the woman that's for you sometimes, because your list is so high. Because you probably look at the bad girl like, man, she bad, she's that, but she really the succubus. And then the one that's modest, this wearing the long dresses and the pants and all that stuff, that's actually the one you supposed to be talking to. But nah, yeah, I don't want to do that. So you gotta pay attention to that. You gotta understand that the retention power, you're supposed to be able to decipher with that power. Decipher who's who, who's what. Papa Heaven. I mean, you gotta be able to decipher that, because if you can't decipher that, you're going to have a hard retention journey. Because I know people that do sim retention and they just do it to do it and not really thinking about the in-depth of it. When I did sim retention years ago, when I first started really practicing it, when I did my 90-something day streak, I really was just like not really in tune too much as to like the deeper side of it. Because after I had my wet dream, that was it. Because that's all that was left. Because I wasn't focused on that. I was just on SR. But being on them days, man, and like the way I was moving, oh my gosh, when I hit the day, the 80s, Them 80s was something serious. It was like I would say something and it would happen. Like that's how crazy it was. The 80s, the days in the 80s, crazy for me. Crazy for me. I was like, hey, it happened. Hey, it happened. Like crazy. So when it comes to women, the same thing. What you can do is pray to God about it and see if that person is for you. Like, God, give me a clear sign the person not for me. Give me a clear sign. Remove them from my life if they're not for me. And you say that prayer, man. You have to be okay with the consequences of it. You have to be. You got to be okay with the consequences. Once you actually get to the point where you're deciphering the women, your sin retention journey is not gonna be hard no more. The women make the journey harder. That's just the facts. They do. It's easier when you're completely away. Like, let's say you go on a date with a girl, y'all go get something to eat, then y'all go to the movie, something like that. That's cool, but it's the most vulnerable you will be, right? But when you go back home and she not coming home with you, you straight. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to make sure that you're able to control your urges even outside of the interactions, right? Control them even after the dates and stuff like that. Because when you at the dates and all that stuff and you probably kissing her or whatever, you're going to get aroused from that. Especially on retention, you get more arousal naturally when you have an intimate kiss with a woman. A lot of things are different. They don't feel the same like they did when you was fapping and stuff like that. They're way different now. So you have to understand that first and foremost about anything. But your biggest thing is try to decipher these women, put them in the proper categories, man. Like for you guys to, that's the biggest thing. Put them in the proper categories. Friend category, potential category. That's basically the two. Yeah, friend category, potential category. Now, if you was in the streets, you say potential friend smash, right? But you're not doing the smash part. We're not doing it. We're doing potential and friend. That's the two categories you're gonna be in. That's it, you know. And when you in them two different categories, I will decide when you're moving into the actual I want you to be my girl phase. And it's gonna take time. I do think that in due time, you'll be able to decipher it. And I don't know what date it is when you can decipher what women are what. I would say you would know that maybe around day 20 something. You can start your decipher phase, but in the beginning you don't really know because you really just kind of like still getting off of your PMO ways and dopamine and all that stuff. So you kind of like see everybody kind of the same. But once you get to about like week 3, week 4, you'll be able to decipher more. I say it's the who. And then especially if you do have the one-on-ones and they start being like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Man, nah. Because if she offer and do something to you and stuff like that, bro, and you sit up there and be like, nah, I'm good, like you're on another level. That's when you know you're gonna lock. We like, hey, nah, I'm good. I got you. We good on that. We ain't gotta do all that. Nah, we ain't gotta do all that. Like when you do that, you really on your level then, you know, because you preventing yourself from even having a potential to release at that point. Because you're gonna have women out there that try to test you out to see if you actually about what you say and see if you actually hold your seat, even if you're in a vulnerable situation where you do want to sleep with her but you don't want to release, which is not hard mode. Like you even doing that, you still gonna have some type of release, but it's not gonna be probably the actual one. But like even that, like a woman may test that. You just gotta understand the women test when it comes to sexual urges are going to be high when you're on retention, especially when you pass like 2-3 weeks, especially honestly after a month. Because the first week is like, nah, it's not that bad. But when you get today, the weeks 2 through 6, it's kind of hiding. And I'm pretty sure once you get to 60, it's another level 2. But like women just, they're going to test their urge, bro. They're going to test you. And you got to be ready for it. I mean, I'm ready for it. You got to be ready to say no. You got to be ready. I know it sounds, y'all may be saying it's corny. My ain't to say no. You got to say no. You got to say, I'm not comfortable with this or whatever and roll. Like, I don't want to release or whatever. You gotta say what you gotta say to go on good about this situation, because if you continue doing it, man, you're gonna release and relapse, then you back to square one, then you're like, oh man, the girl did it, whatever. You know now already who gonna be the reason why you relapse, because you're not watching corn. Corn ain't even a problem no more at this point. For most of y'all I talk to and stuff, y'all don't really got a corn problem. It's the women problem. The women make y'all release. So y'all gotta fix that. you gotta fix your relationship with that, because you gotta let the woman know, tell her, hey, I ain't about that type. I ain't about that right now. I'm kind of locked in. It's kind of crazy though. You probably have a point where you probably be like, yeah, you gonna have to go and do this with somebody else. And they were just wild to say, but you may say that. Cause that's how may locked in you may be. Hey, go and do it with somebody else. Ain't doing it with me. Like, you know, you probably gotta do that. Cause you know she's a succubus. You know she's a succubus. I mean, the women gonna just continue to have you in that type of mindset, bro. It just continuous thing, and they do it because it's just who they are. It's not because they literally wake up in the morning trying to do that. It's just who they are. Yeah. Just who they are, man. So, yeah. That's my video today, man, on women in retention, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, man. I'll see y'all next time. Be safe out.